Thank you for joining us for our Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting for June 16th, 2021. I'm going to go ahead and start the meeting now. Please note that we are missing 2 members tonight, Mr. Hobbs and Mr. Harvey. And then we're going to go on and to approval of minutes. Did everybody get a chance to look at the minutes? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right. Can I get a second, please? I have a second. All right. I have a first and a second. All right. Do we have any discussion? Any changes? Anything? All right.
No, they were very well done as usual.
All right. So with that, everybody signify by saying aye if you're in agreement.
Aye.
Aye. No opposed. All right, so we're good. All right, so we have a very long list to go through. So I'm going to throw this to Lorena to give us an update on what's going on. I want her to go through the full list, and then if we have questions afterwards, then we can ask that. So I'm going to throw it to you, Lorena.
Right, sounds good. Well, first, this is not on the agenda, but want to welcome Judy Fuller, who is our new council liaison, since Daryl Hale, who served us so well, has decided to take the position of the Director of Planning and Zoning, which we know he'll do very well in. So Judy is going to be stepping in and filling his shoes, so we're excited about the journey beginning with her. So thank you for joining us. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start rolling here. Unfinished business, update on Roberts Mill Park Improvement Project. Hobbs Excavating is scheduled to start work the week of July 12th. The timeline for completion depends on how quickly the pond portion of the project moves along, since that's the more complicated portion. The allocated funds for this project were assigned to fiscal year 2021, which is ending on June 30th. So those funds will need to be moved to fiscal year 2022 via a budget amendment at a council meeting. So we'll get that taken care of. Update on Bollinger Park engineering. CDM Smith will hopefully get back to work on this project within the next couple of months and then submit the site plans to Carroll County for their various agencies' review. No update yet on the status of any of the grant awards, and that usually takes a while for all of those applications to be reviewed and parsed through. So hopefully we'll hear some good news on that in the coming months. Update on Memorial Park large parking lot. The contract was awarded to HTI Contractors for $203,553.75. So $203,553 and 75 cents. Which was under the $300,000 capital budget mark that we had. So there is some savings there. And hopefully we can figure out what we can do with those remaining budget funds. There's lots to be done. They will be, the contractor will be applying on our behalf for the grading permit and get all the paperwork squared away so that they can start as soon as possible after the July 4th weekend. The project must be completed by August 31st so that there's no interference with the football game season because it's going to be very busy. Update on Taneytown High School Park, the lights and cameras there. They were installed on Friday, June 4th. We have 2 300-watt LED lights, one pointed at the skate park, one pointed towards the parking lot and the playground. We adjusted the lights so that they're not projecting now into neighbors' windows because they were angled up. So our electrician went back out and angled them down. So we still have full light coverage, but it just doesn't look like a train is approaching the neighbors' bedrooms or anything. So we have 3 cameras on the same pole. One is pointed down at the skate park. One is pointed at that pavilion and down the field, and then one is pointed at the playground and the parking lot. And video surveillance signs have been posted. So we should be all set to ensure the safety and preservation of the area, its features, and park visitors. We're all set there. I have additional miscellaneous updates. I'm waiting on some pricing from Bill Rose on a new shed at Taneytown High School Park for softball. This would be replacing the two very dilapidated sheds that are there, with a very simple structure, just a 12 by 16 with a roll-up door, like a garage door, that will replace in the same area that the two sheds are in. Hopefully that'll get situated there. Once I receive that pricing from Bill, Jim and I are going to sit down and review where we are on capital expenditures to see if it is something that's possible to do, and then present it to council for their review and approval. As a reminder, a larger structure is on the capital improvement projects list for fiscal year 2025. But if we can get something built now, since it's really necessary, then we obviously can reallocate that funding towards something else. And as we know, there are lots of projects out there that we can use that funding for. So we'll see what Bill can do for us and see what pricing he gets back to me with. Update on 2021 events. Yoga in the Park kicked off on June 7th at 6:30 in the evening in Memorial Park, with classes continuing through August. Registration is free, and the classes are led by a local therapeutic yoga instructor, Shawn Essed. And she's doing wonderfully. She attended last year's yoga program that was led by, Lindsay Ewing. Tennis clinics will be run from July 5th through the 8th. One for 1st through 4th graders, one for 5th through 7th graders, and one for 8th through 12th graders. This program does have, I'm sorry, goodness gracious. Could have to take a quick break here. Woo! To run through. This program does have a tiered fee based on the grade level. We were able to cover the majority of the cost of the instructor, Darian Nail, who is a former local high school coach and who ran the program successfully last year. So we were glad that we were able to get into the budget enough to cover, like I said, the majority of the cost of that program. So that was also a very popular program last year. The library is running a story walk feature in our parks to promote their summer reading program. Story walk involves pages of a book on separate signposts that are put on a pathway or in a park, what have you. And these particular pages have activities added to them that kids and their families can do that pertain to the story. So it's really neat. It gets them outside and gets them active. The parks featured are Flickinger Park in June, Roberts Mill Park in July, and Memorial Park in August. And participants are encouraged to snap pictures of their family with the cover pages at each of the parks, and then they can show them at the library and earn prizes. And the library is also running a park scavenger hunt. I don't know if anybody has seen that out on Facebook, but that's really neat. And that has participants searching for different features in different parks throughout the town. And again, if they submit their completed scavenger hunt sheets, they get a prize. So that's really very neat. And we're very excited to be working with Miss Amy Schildwachter at our local library. She really did a great job last year during the whole COVID shutdown of getting out there and doing videos in our parks and other places to really emphasize, hey, get out there, get outside, and you can still do some learning activities. You don't have to shut yourself inside. So that was really good. And so these projects were her brainchild, and she's been wonderful with that. So we're excited about that. Uniontown Bible Church is running their soccer camp again this year at Roberts Mill Park, as they do usually every year. From June 28th through July 2nd, and they've already obtained their special event permit that was approved at Monday night's council meeting. So they're all set to go. Eric Bender and I have been discussing a dog event for Saturday, July 10th at Memorial Park. And initially, last year, we had talked about it being the full terrier trial, as he's had in the past. But with there still, at that time, being some uncertainty with COVID and all that, we just decided to go with just like a fun day for that activity. So we hope to have some courses and some activities and some agility equipment, and this would be something fun for people and their dogs. And it wouldn't just be restricted to the Jack Russell Terriers. Anybody could come in with their dog and try them out on the course, and people could come and watch too. So just something fun to do, something simple, but something to get people out in the park. So that's Saturday, July 10th, and he and I are going to be working together as soon as I get past Wine Fest this Saturday, and more news will be coming out on that as we develop that. Review of the fishing derby. The derby, as everyone knows, was held at Roberts Mill Park on Saturday, May 15th from 8 to noon. We had 90 registrants in total, so that was wonderful. Family members and friends came out to support them, and the pond was ringed with young anglers all trying to catch a prize. And I think the most surprising catch was that goldfish. That was a prize winner. It was huge.
Goldfish.
It was, I guess, a carnival goldfish or something that somebody had released in the pond, and it survived, which was surprising in and of itself. But that was relocated to a koi pond nearby. I think that was Emily or Lori Ott who took that, I believe. So many thanks to everyone who came out to participate and to the volunteers who helped make that possible. The Robert Flickinger Memorial Tree Grove dedication ceremony. That was a very lovely ceremony that took place on Saturday, May 22nd at 11 a.m. And that was attended by the Flickinger family members and all the tree donors, those who could make it to that park. Mayor Wance, former Mayor Jim McCarron, Jay Gullo, city attorney, and Justin Durborough, Kyle Flickinger, and Pastor Steve Ostendorf spoke at the ceremony, and then Jay Gullo generously provided refreshments for everyone afterwards. So the tree grove is lovely, it really is, and the Flickinger family really like that, the friends. So I think for years to come, it'll be beautiful, and there's a bench out there. It's really a nice feature to that park. A review of Taneytown High School Park Playground dedication ceremony. That dedication ceremony took place on June 4th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we had some Taneytown High School alumni present, so that was really neat. Even though it was a small occasion, it was still lovely, and I know the alumni appreciated it, and as they appreciated the old school's colors integrated into the playground as a tribute, and there's a picture of the old school on the playground sign, so that's really pretty cool. Memorial Day activities. The Memorial Day ceremony was held on Monday, May 31st at 10 a.m. at the War Memorial, and it was a beautiful service. Monocacy Valley Memorial Post, number 6918, aka the Harney VFW, provided a bugler to play taps as well as a gun salute, and speakers included Senator Justin Reedy, Delegate Haven Shoemaker, Commander Larry Harris of the Harney VFW, Mike Stonecipher from Our American Legion, and Pastor Steve Ostendorf, as well as Mayor Wance and Mayor Pro Tem Joe Vigliotti. And that was really a lovely ceremony, and the weather was beautiful. And the parade, the Memorial Day parade, was also held that day. All was well received. Everyone seemed quite happy to have parades back in Taneytown, and it was really a joy to see both young and old enjoy the occasion. Wish the parade had been a little bit longer, but next year we hope to have our local high school bands back out in action, and a few more participants included next year. So that'll be nice. And then let's see, the last thing I have is update on the Wine, Art, and Music Festival this Saturday. Everything is ready to go. We have 12 beverage vendors, 25 artisan and craft vendors, and several food vendors. For the food vendors, we have It's All Good, Bebo's Mac Shack, Rollin' Smoke Barbecue, Triple Cheese Chicken Wings. That's a tongue twister. The Lions Club will also have their food trailer there, and we have 3 dessert vendors, Gabby's Goodies, Stonehouse Cakery, and Kona Ice. We have musical performances by Groovalicious from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., Vinyl Rhino from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., and then Dean Crawford and the Dunn's River Band from 2:30-ish, whenever they can get right up on the stage after Vinyl Rhino, to 4 p.m., the end of the event. So that $15 admission purchase gives attendees unlimited tastings, a tasting class, the concert experience, and the shopping experience. $10 general admission without alcohol consumption. Gets you in to the concert and to see all the vendors and everything. And children 12 and under are free. And then, of course, the pony rides, petting zoo. Bounce houses, they're all free as well to anyone who can fit on them. The weather is going to be very nice, and we hope it's going to be a great event. So that is my rundown. Does anybody have any questions?
When do you sleep?
Right, you're really.
My goodness. I mean, what a jam-packed month of everything happening on top of planning some awesome events and dedication. So again, if I haven't said it enough, thank you so much for everything you do. You're doing an awesome job. So with that, do board members have any questions or comments from anything that Lorena went through? No?
Thank you. That's a lot. Yeah.
It's a ton. It's a ton. Well, we're hoping that our community members will come out on Saturday. It should be a wonderful day, and we're all excited. You will see our lovely faces volunteering, and I'm excited. It's kind of like our end of coronavirus party in Taneytown. So with some excellent bands and just a fun time for everybody to get out and enjoy.
Good drinks, good food, good entertainment, good shopping, and a lot of really good vendors out there. A lot of great art vendors and craft vendors and everything. So, yeah, exactly. It'll be a return to life as we once knew it, and hopefully we'll know it again. Yeah, so that'll be fun.
The bands that have not had a chance to play.
Right. I'm sure they're going to be really
They're
excited.
just excited. I can imagine they are all excited about
To actually have an
Audience.
audience. Yeah.
Excited to have them, so it should be a pretty awesome day. So thank you again for everything you've done to plan that out.
And I want to thank also our sponsors for WineFest, Taneytown Liquors and Evapco came through, with some sponsorships. So that, of course, helps offset the cost of putting on a big event like this. And it is going to be bigger and better this year, for sure. So a lot going on that day.
Just like the parades and all of that, you have to start somewhere, and we'll build up and build up and build up. So I'm excited. So nobody has any questions? No? Okay. All right. Well, we're going to move into new business. I can start off with that. So in January, we forgot to do a continuance of secretarial duties for our board because it doesn't run the same as when we do the chair. We might have to look into that later. However, with that, thank you for doing it from January to June. Now, I guess we'll have to do, let's go ahead and, do I have well, hold on.
We will move
Bill.
to continue.
Okay, Beth,
Beth has-
and I will second that. Would you be willing to look at her, just typing away.
Sure. Because if I don't, I'm going to miss something.
Until next January. Yes, I've already done the agenda for next January, so we'll make sure we hold the election
amazing.
for a secretary on that
Okay.
agenda.
So signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, look, and she's even, wonderful, thank you.
Thank you,
Not
Beth.
kicking and screaming.
Right.
Welcome.
All right, so on to other new business. Here we go, July 3rd, another big event. So I'll throw that back to you, Lorena.
Yes, another big one. Again, Memorial Park festivities are going to kick off at 2 o'clock. We're going to have music. This is going to be from a DJ that we've hired through Fun Events, a local Taneytown business. Just could not rustle up a band. So we'll go with the DJ and get a wide variety of music. And I think they might even take requests. We're going to have games and bounce houses, a water slide. I'm really excited about that. I can't wait for the water slide to get in there. That's going to be fun. And a dunk tank. I'm still looking for victims, volunteers for that. So council members.
Say, I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty obvious.
Right. Yes, I did send out an email to the mayor and to council and staff, I believe, as well. And I'll follow up. Don't worry, I'll be following up to make sure we have
Not
some.
gonna go anywhere. Yeah.
We have somebody who's willing to take a dip for that, and especially if it's a warm day, that'll feel refreshing. Yeah.
Department too.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And we'll also have our standby pony rides and petting zoo again. This pony's going to work out, I tell you, with our activities. Yeah. And food trucks. We're going to have It's All Good, Cole's Concessions, the Chicken Box, and the Lions Club is also going to be there as well, and Kona Ice. So that'll be refreshing. Some nice shaved ice on a hot 4th of July. Well, day before 4th of July. And Fantastic Fireworks is the company that we're going with for our fireworks, and they secured the permit from the state. So the fireworks are set to go off at 9:30 p.m., and they'll be shot off from the empty expansion area behind the park. There's 22 acres, so that was a safe spot back there. And then,
Behind Field 1.
yes, behind Field 1 in the grandstand, back in there, so that way their radius is clear for that. Yeah, it should be a fantastic day. So can't wait for that one. That'll be really fun. Any questions on that one? No? Yeah. We'll just have to cross our fingers and hope that the weather is really good. Yes, our rain date is July 5th, but that's a Monday. So I'm hoping that the weather is really good on Saturday, July 3rd. Yeah. Yeah. And just in case anyone from home is wondering, we didn't have it on July 4th because the fireworks were double the cost. Yes. Anything on the 4th is crazy. Right. Right. Yeah. You can go
works
out,
in our
have fun on a
favor.
Saturday, and then rest on the next day, or go to a family
Go
picnic.
to
or whatever.
another, yeah, double
Where else? That's right.
that weekend. It's a
Exactly.
party.
Well, I think the mayor said in the council meeting, you see fireworks here on Saturday night and then see fireworks somewhere else on Sunday night if you want to, if you're so inclined. So the best of everything. That's all I have on that one. Yes. So I was approached by David Evans, who is a resident of Taneytown. He is a retired landscape architect. My daughter's a landscape architect, so I want to make a clarification here. They are different than just landscape designers. They are actually architects, but they work with landscape and architecture. So anyway, he approached me about possibly starting a community garden. And this is something that was probably tossed around before, yeah, and something that I had thought of as well when I took this position. We discussed possible locations and also the various features that we might have in it. His idea, and it was just a rough sketch, he was just sketching things, and it was amazing, just to see him roughly off the cuff drawing these things up. But a location that was discussed was at Roberts Mill Park off of the small standalone pavilion parking lot going up that hill. And he had basically a concentric design, like ADA accessible to get up there, whether it's pavers or a path or something. And then, perhaps like vegetables in the middle of the circle, and then on the outside, flowers, perennials, something like that. So it's an interesting idea, and it is definitely intriguing. I would want to make sure that there's proper security there, because unfortunately, as we know in our experience, great ideas, and then the second thought is, oh, what would the vandals do to it, and when, and how, kind of thing. So we would definitely need to have a good location for that and for the garden to be protected. But this definitely needs to be researched further, and we obviously need to get the community's feedback on it, what they would want to see in this community garden, because it's going to be a volunteer-led and operated garden. So it would all depend on how much the community wants to get involved. Yeah, I mean, if it's just a little level of involvement and somebody just wants to grow, some vegetables to maybe donate to a local food pantry or something, and some perennials, something simple like that would be, who knows, maybe 14 feet or something like that. Who knows, 12 feet. It would really depend on who wants to get involved, how many people want to get involved, and what their level of involvement is going to be. Yeah. So
Not going to be leased plots, like for the community to lease a section.
no, it would be one dedicated
One
area,
okay.
one dedicated garden, and however that turns out, whether it's two side-by-side plots, one vegetable and one flower, or, what have you.
I would assume if it was vegetable, everything that's grown would just go to, Trinity for their.
I would imagine, yeah, right, something like that. Right,
Okay.
exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
Would it be presumptuous of us to ask if the gentleman would be willing to lend his expertise for the pollinator garden in Bollinger Park?
We did discuss Bollinger Park after we discussed the community garden idea. Yeah, and he had some great ideas about that as well. So yeah, we would definitely like to get his ideas and his input on that when we get to that part of the planning phase, because as you know, that's going to be open for public review and comment
Yeah.
during the planning commission's process of getting that approved.
Got somebody in town who's willing to lend their expertise for something.
Right. Yes.
Use it until they tell you no.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And again, he's very well educated and very well trained in his field, and being retired, you still want to use those skills. If it's a passion, then you still want to make use of that and contribute to your community, and that's exactly what he wants to do. So we'll see. We'll just have to do a little more research and flesh that out a little bit more, and see where it goes. But, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know that Westminster has like plots that you can lease. And I honestly, I could be wrong. So if anybody from Westminster is watching, go ahead and let me know. But I do not think that, I think whoever leases it, I don't think any vandals come in to steal their fruits and, vegetables or anything like that. So, and that's by the skate park in Westminster. So it's a possibility, so.
There are several of those in the city as well, in Baltimore. Different communities have taken over where vacant houses have been torn.
Yes, yeah.
Garden
I
for the
saw,
community.
I've seen that in a few places, and not just in Baltimore, but yeah, many cities where they it was part of a neighborhood revitalization to if a building could not be refurbished or, made habitable again, then it was just torn, right, then it was torn down, and then the property was just, yes, exactly, repurposed into a park. And a lot of gardens came out of that. So I think it's a great idea. Yeah. Right.
Anything else under new business? No? Anybody? No? Okay. All right. So, reports. Before we go to, do you have any reports? Okay. No
Nothing to
reports.
report.
Okay. Councilwoman Fuller, I know you just
I
got
was gonna say,
here.
I'm still absorbing.
Of course, it's a lot to absorb. So, yes. I understand that, and I don't have anything, to report except for come on Saturday and enjoy yourself. I do want to go under, though, discussion-wise. We wanted to talk a little bit about our meeting dates. Now, usually we meet the Wednesday after the Monday night council meeting. I think we have an issue with Mr. Harvey being able to attend, and it could conflict with other schedules too. Does anybody, what do you think as far as possibly changing the date, or are you set with where we are now?
I'm open
You're open for
Yeah.
anything?
pretty much.
All right, Councilwoman Fuller, do you know of anything that would affect when the schedule? Okay. Okay.
Well, I guess it was set up as it was the second Wednesday of every month. And then, of course, the Taneytown Athletic Association, meaning being every other month, the second Wednesday, every other month. But Kelly is right in that it was structured to fall after the Monday night council meeting. However, as you know, depending on how the month starts off, the week is structured.
You could be on the
Yeah,
third Wednesday.
It could be on the
Right.
third Wednesday,
Correct.
exactly, after that council meeting. So that's where it kind of flips sometimes from the second Wednesday to the third Wednesday. So there's often some confusion about, well, when are they meeting? So try to get the word out there through various means. But it's difficult, I'm sure, with multiple work schedules to try to get coverage and be able to attend. So
The only thing I can think of, obviously, we would want to let our reps know from the Taneytown Athletic Association if they have any issues, because maybe they have their board meetings that's the only thing that could conflict with any additional. I don't know. As long as I've been on this board, and it's on and off, I've been here for a while, it's always been the Wednesday after the Monday night council meeting. So,
And for that reason, just because it's always been that way, I almost feel like for sports purposes, for TAA purposes, you should leave it because they know. But I don't know. If it doesn't suit Mr. Harvey, I don't know.
I know that's going to be difficult. Not all the time can we all be in attendance. Obviously, we try. I don't know. Do you know if Mr. Hobbs has an issue with the meeting? Okay.
Right, right.
I mean, I'm flexible. I just think that maybe we need to maybe reach out to our, reps with Taneytown Athletic Association, see what their board, when they meet. I don't want to, we're trying to still get into a routine. I don't want to, I mean, obviously, I want Mr. Harvey to come to the meetings. I understand that, he has a conflict. But I'm flexible, so whatever you want to go with, I'm fine.
Would there be any disadvantage to not having it the Wednesday after the council meeting? Well, that was the question, yeah. Should we
Right.
just stick to second Wednesday, no matter what? Now, but
Wouldn't that
then
fall-
that might have a
fall with
conflict with the
him?
workshop. Right,
Right, because, exactly. So we would have to change yeah.
well, that's true. Rather than flip-flopping every month, depending on how the council
Right.
workshop and meetings fall, maybe we just say, we're switching it from the second Wednesday to the third Wednesday.
Then did you say that's when he works, the third Wednesday of every
Yes,
month?
but then if he knows that
Right.
it's going to be that every month, then maybe he could switch his schedule. I don't know. Yeah,
That would be, is trying to find coverage or something for something you need to be at work for, could be an issue. So
Right.
I don't want to do that too.
right. All right.
I mean, we can ask, is that good? That we can ask Mr. Harvey?
Yeah, let me reach out to the TAA representatives
Okay.
and see what works for them, and then for that every other month meeting, and then we can discuss, via email as far as what would work best for everyone's schedule and the whole big picture. What do you think?
And then we can discuss it, discuss it at our July meeting then, as to, or do you want to send an email?
Yeah, we'll send an email.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That works. All right. All right. Any additional questions, comments, concerns?
I just have one little thing to address here. On the, what's it, Sunday in August, Reading in the Park Day?
Yes.
I have talked to my writers group, and they are agreeable to do a Meet the Authors.
Right. I know we had talked about that last year, but
Yeah.
then,
Then
Yeah.
we got,
yeah, everything was kind of slammed there.
talked to them last week, and I have at least, there will be at least three of us, as maybe as many as five.
Oh,
And that's just from our group. If you wanted to put it out on the town website that, hey, we're going to have this, if you are an author and want to participate, you'd be more than welcome.
right. I think that would be a great idea. This is just fleshing this out. That's going to be Sunday, August 22nd, but just fleshing this out, thinking of having them at pavilions, maybe the first three pavilions at Memorial Park. They're the ones that are smaller and not enclosed. They could be stationed there so that people come in and give it that. Depending on how many want
wanna
to
show up.
volunteer, right?
I mean, because I was thinking with my little group, we could take over the pagoda.
Oh, gazebo?
Yeah, the gazebo.
Right, yes,
Senior moment.
right.
We could take over the gazebo and let,
Yeah, that's true. We could do that, for sure.
so, anyway.
Well, I have a question to ask you for your fellow writers, would they be doing this on a volunteer basis, free of charge?
Showing up, and when those of us who have books to sell, will be bringing them and
Okay.
people can buy.
So that would be the return on their investment of time, possible book sales. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, just wanted to make sure. I'm watching every dollar in my budget.
This is, they come out and show what you do and
Oh, I think that's a great
talk to
idea.
people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
One of the group that I belong with is, she doesn't have any books out, but she has articles in about 14 different magazines around the state and around the country. So, Lisa Gregory.
Yeah, she was on the list that you gave me last year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
She was kind of eager willing to come out. I doubt probably her will.
Okay. Well, that's really good. A great idea. I know we, like I said, had talked about it last year, and then, things just kind of screeched to a halt. So, as we get closer to that, and I start planning all of the details, the contest that ensuing week will be the same as last year. Pictures of families or whomever, individuals or whatever, reading in one of our parks or any of our parks for the prizes. So, all right. Bill, you and I will work offline on that together. So get the information from you and all that. Okay. All right. Sounds
I've
like
got 2 more get-togethers with the writers, because we only meet once a month before then, so.
all right. Sounds good.
Got that on her to-do list with 1,000 other things, so, all right.
Item number 3,400.
Uh-huh.
Three on her
Just
to-do
a,
list.
I mean, yeah, just a little bit. All right, so if we have nothing further to discuss, I'm just going to go, our next meeting will be July 14th. We're starting at 6:30 with
Correct. Right. With Taneytown
Taneytown Athletic Association first, and then we're going to roll into our meeting. So also make sure we put on the agenda for that. That will be nomination for chair.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. I've already started the agenda for that, and that is number 1 under new business.
All right, that's exciting, huh?
Nomination for chair of this board of Parks and Rec.
Yes. Yep. You got it. All right, so with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
I will second.
All right, so with a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
By saying aye. 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 All right, we are